What is stopping us from doing what we want to do? The things that we feel that we need to do to be successful. What are the barriers? What misconceptions do we have about what we should be doing versus what we want to be doing? That's a hard part to think about. Because first you can even go into it and you can ask, am I even doing what I want to do? Is there something else I'd rather be doing than what I am doing? Okay? Then the second thing you can ask, depending on which way you answer that question, was, how did I get here? Is this the decision that I chose because it was convenient, or is this the decision I chose because it was what I wanted to do? And I feel like that's a big thing people are starting to see now because it's a lot more visual. Social media is giving us so many different angles. It's sensory overload. And to somebody who's not used to it, it can be overwhelming. You can have somebody in your ear 1 minute talking about how you can make money online doing this, you can become overnight success, you can become rich, it's as simple as this is what I did. And then you have somebody over here saying, you got to go to college. You got to do the 4-year degree. Without an education, you're nothing. And it's a fine line that we have to sit there and internalize for ourselves to see what path we want to go down. Because ultimately, if you're willing to live with yourself with the decision that you made, I guess there is no wrong answer. It's what you're willing to accept. Are you willing to do the 9 to 5 for 20, 30, 40 years and be content with that? I don't know what you do. You could be working at McDonald's making $20 an hour flipping burgers, or you could be a network architects engineer for a computer company or a tech firm making $250,000 a year. I don't know. I don't know where you live. I don't know what your educational background is. I don't know what your demographic is, where you're from. None of that. But depending on your specific and individual circumstance, you really have to sit there and think about what you want for yourself. Because in my experience, you really can't replace freedom and happiness with anything. And you can say, yeah, I got a whole bunch of money, and yeah, I got to do this and I got to do this, but there's going to come a day, because it's going to come for everybody. There's going to come a day when you're going to be on your deathbed and you're going to be sitting there looking at all the people in the room, and they're all going to be looking back at you, and they're going to have their own misconceptions about you and your life and what you did and what you didn't do. But at that time, that's when you got to sit there and internalize, did I do everything I was supposed to do? Did I do everything I wanted to do? Because I feel like, for me specifically, there's certain things I've done in my life that was either convenient, there was nothing else to do, I was bored, or when I finally woke up and got out of the stuff that I was in, I started realizing, like, man, when I get to that point in my life, I don't want to regret stuff. I don't want to sit there and think about, well, what if I did this and what if I did that? And that was one of the biggest reasons for me joining the military when I did, because I didn't join the military until I was 30. But what I did know, out of everything that I didn't know, because I didn't know a whole bunch back then, all I knew how to do was that I had to go to work every day and I had bills to pay and I had people to take care of. What I knew at that point was, regardless of where I was and what I did not want to regret not serving my country. And that was just me, specifically. I can't speak to anybody else and why they joined. There's a million different reasons. But that's one thing. And 8 years later, after I did that one thing, I got to see tons of stuff that I never would have thought that I've seen. I got to experience people. I got to experience different situations, different places, different countries, been around the world. I was put in situations that less than 0.5% of the population of the America has been in. And then you go even more specific and into the field that I was in, and then it's even smaller than that. So for me to sit there knowing that I had something I wanted to do, I did it. And along the line, I was able to accomplish other goals that I had set for myself. I had set for myself that I was going to get a college degree. Got it. I Had a goal for myself that I was going to get out. I was going to get a great job. Got hired at an aerospace company. Living life. But there was a point when I came in my life, which was recently, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, when I had a hard look at myself and I was like, I'm meant for more than this. I can do this, but I know I'm meant more for this. There's something in me that needs to get out. I have a gift, in my own opinion, that I can help people with. And giving back is what really made me go and do all these things that I usually don't do. If you were to know me in person, I'm the most extroverted person you'll ever meet. Extremely extroverted. But as soon as you put that camera in front of me, and this is going out to God knows who this is going to, who knows where this is going, it makes me realize that the purpose is bigger than my own selfish needs and my own inability to be secure with what I'm doing. Because eventually, no matter how long I do this, I could do this for 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, 10 years. Eventually, with what I'm saying, within my purpose and how I feel, it will resonate with somebody and somebody will use it. And if that's the case, then it'll all be worth it. It'll all be worth it. But I really feel like all of us need to look inside ourselves and have that deep inner dialogue and honest with ourselves. If what we're doing is the same thing as what we want, because there is a choice. You can do what you want to do and not have to do what you need to do. Let me rephrase that. In forms of profession and taking care of our responsibilities. Is what you're doing really what you want to do? Or is it something from an external source that told you this is what you should be doing? This is what you have to do. You're not going to make it if you don't do this. Because what I've learned so far is that you'll never truly be free until you do what you want to do and you're serving your purpose, whatever that may be. Until then, you will never know freedom.